Everyone thinks that going viral will completely change your business overnight, and it will. It's just not always in a good way. One video completely reshaped my social media page, my audience, how I was making content, and honestly, my whole entire business. And I was not ready for it. Back in April of 2024, I was just posting like normal, trying out different techniques, trying out new things, figuring out running my embroidery business from home with my 2 little girls. Nothing crazy was going on. I had my products, I had my locked brand, I had a whole entire process, and that was kind of that. Things were just moseying along. But what I can say is that I know what I was working towards. And one day my neighbor was over visiting me. She had a little boy. He was about 1.5 years old at the time. And I asked for her to give me a few of his baby onesies so I can try to make the keepsake shirt that a lot of embroiderers had been making during that time when it was really, really popular. So I took a few the onesies that she had with him that he used to wear when he was little, and I made a mom shirt for her using the onesies as the applique fabric. I filmed my whole entire process. I took a photo of the baby onesies and I showed how I appliqued, or basically stitched, her baby's onesies inside the letters MOM, and I put the EST here. I put the video up, didn't think anything about it, and I want to say within 2 or 3 days, there was like a change. It was like a shift in the comments on the videos. I kept getting more and more comments, and my subscriber count just kept growing and growing. When I woke up, a video that essentially had maybe 1,000 views had about 15,000 views. And from there, it just kept going and going. More views, more likes, more comments, and then my DM started having a lot of questions. It was just like my phone just kept dinging and dinging and dinging. So it got to a point where I had to turn off my notifications. I kept checking my subscriber count and it just kept growing and growing. I made a video that I posted on my Instagram stories. It went something like, guys, I think I'm going viral. And I was so happy. I was like, calling everybody. I was telling my husband, I was like, I'm going viral. I cannot believe it. I was so happy that I was going viral. Hey guys, if you really enjoy the embroidery files that I create, then I need to tell you this. Right now, you can keep on buying my designs for $10 each, or you can join the Embroidery Mastery community and get 5 new designs every single month for free. That is $50 worth of designs every single month, plus access to every single thing that we do inside the Embroidery Mastery community. It's honestly a no-brainer. Click the link below to join us inside, and I will see you there. I started getting a lot of orders. So at the time, that sweatshirt was only priced for $65, and it was a pretty invasive sweatshirt. So when I listed it, I was not thinking about pricing at the time. So I was like, oh man, since I'm getting so many orders, I really need to increase the price. So I think I took it from $65 to $80 because with the involvement in that shirt, I had to literally cut up a whole bunch of baby onesies. And not only did I have to hoop it, get everything done correctly, and not to make a mistake because people literally sent me their baby onesies, I had to be extremely careful with these items that were cherished by them. I couldn't make a mistake on the order. And then also there was another aspect of the order. I put the baby's name on their sleeve. So it was like I was double hooping. I had to be extra careful. And the orders, they just kept increasing and increasing. It was sort of getting out of control. So I took the price up to $80. I thought that it would deter some of the people away, but it didn't. It was 50 orders and then 150 orders. I was still going viral. I could literally see my video like hitting each country because you get like these different languages. I could tell when it was in Africa. I could tell when it was in Europe, and I could tell when it was in like South America. It's just because of the languages that would come. So I would have to kind of translate everything to see. And then after a while, I didn't even read the comments anymore. You get to a point where you literally cannot comment anymore. And I had to put in my bio, like, please don't DM me, like no more DMs. It was so overwhelming. It started off really good and I was happy, but it got to a point where it was too much. And I actually considered taking the video down or turning off the comments. After about 200 orders, the video started to fizzle down a little bit, but here is a part that you may not hear many embroiderers talking about, and it is the aftermath of a whole bunch of orders. So there are different kinds of embroidery businesses. There are businesses that are set up for production, and then there are people like me where it's just me and I only have 2 machines. So I had just taken all these orders and I had everybody's money and I had all of these keepsakes that were coming in at the post office. Like the postal system, they were like, we're just going to put all your orders in this basket. Like you can no longer like use your mailbox at this point. So, like it didn't even fit in my little mailbox. And they tried to take me to the bigger mailbox that wasn't working. So I literally would come in 3 times a week and leave with these big old bins of just people's baby items. So now let's really get into the nitty gritty, because I think people need to understand what it really means to go viral. And if you are not set up for a success, it will be a nightmare. And for me, going viral, it was a complete nightmare. I did end up on the other side, but it was so hard to get to the other side after this. Okay, so let's start off with the first thing. I was not ready for that kind of attention. It put a lot of eyes on me and it put a lot of eyes on my business. One video bringing in the amount of traffic that it did, and it not only went viral on Instagram, it went viral on Facebook and semi or somewhat on TikTok as well. Because the video had about 6 or 7 million views on Instagram, it had another few million views on Facebook and a couple 100,000 views on TikTok. My page shifted. My page completely changed. I got about, I don't know, somewhere, I'm just going to put up the numbers if I still have them, but I want to say it was about somewhere between 18 and 20,000 new subscribers from a single video. And that was just on Instagram. I got an additional 15 to 20,000 on Facebook, and I got a couple thousand on TikTok. So to go from selling strictly locked products and making a lot of sales from a small audience to these thousands and thousands of people watching you, eyes on your page, it was different. Like my whole page had changed and it was like, okay, I didn't ask for this. This was a part that I did not ask for. So since my audience changed, the expectations of the type of content that I needed to produce changed as well. So because I didn't go viral for something that I normally make, I didn't really know how to deal with the shift that was happening. My brand was for women with locks, and typically the women who have locks are African American, Black, however you want to put it. They have Afro textured hair. So that was the first problem. The video that got me my new audience was of me making a keepsake item. And, you know, looking back, it was something that wasn't in alignment with my brand. Somehow I was under the impression that since I had so many new subscribers, when I dropped my new locked merchandise and my new line of products, that I was going to get a lot of sales. But you guys know what? I got less sales than I would typically get when I had a new launch. I would get somewhere between 30, 50, 60, 70 orders. I got about 15 orders for the new launch of my locked merchandise. 15 orders. I had about 20 some or 30 some thousand subscribers at that point. To only make about 15 sales hurt me to my core. I was devastated. And I finally started to realize that views and subscribers do not necessarily equal sales. My audience wanted more keepsake things. So I was trying to please this new audience. I was losing my old audience, my faithful audience, the people that supported me from day one. I was pulled in too many directions and I was trying to give everybody what they wanted. So I started doing keepsake items. I made a keepsake blanket using baby onesies. And you guys, when I say it was nice, it was nice. But when I say this blanket took about 7 hours to make, oh my gosh, it completely took me out. The blanket was stunning. It was beautiful, but the amount of time that went into it, I was like, I'm not going to make that as a mistake again. I'm not going to underprice. So I had to price the blanket at about $400 in order for it to make sense. And do you guys know how many sales I got for a $400 blanket? 0. I got 0 sales. I had people inquire about it, but nobody wanted to spend that much on a baby blanket. So I was like, okay. I'm going to try to make these keepsake bears from scratch. So here I am learning how to make a brand new item again. I'm literally making a bear. I bought the stuffing. I bought the weights that go in it. I bought the eyes. I mean, I bought everything. I'm over here spending money trying to create a whole new niche. And you know how many sales I got for that bear? I think I priced it at like $199. 0. And it was like, oh my God, like I have never lost this much or this big with this big of an audience. Like I could not believe what was happening to me. So here I am stressed out. You guys know I am a stay-at-home mom. My kids are home with me. I think my oldest daughter may have been in kindergarten. So it was me and my 3-year-old. She's seeing me sad and crying, and I just really didn't know how to move forward. My income had declined so bad until I didn't know what to do. I just started reevaluating my whole life and my whole business and everything that I was doing. The way that I viewed it at the time was like being a failure. I felt like a complete failure. How can you go viral and have this amount of eyes on you and you're not making any money? Like I could not wrap my mind around it. And I really just started thinking about how some of these creators, they have over 100,000 subscribers. They have 1 million subscribers and they aren't getting paid. They aren't making a profit from their large following. They aren't making a profit from all of their knowledge. And I vowed to myself that I would never be in this position again if I can help it. That's where the shift for me internally started to come in. Since I had a lot of eyes on me, I started to get all of these negative thoughts. I'm just like, oh, they're just here to steal my ideas. And that very much could have been the case. But when you have that type of mind frame, you are completely focusing on the wrong thing. I had to change my mindset and I had to listen what all of the other embroiderers was asking me. They were asking me how to do certain things. They wanted to know my process. They wanted to see all the behind the scenes. They wanted to pick my brain. When you're a creator, it's a really hard pill to swallow, giving away all your secrets. So I had to really step back and think about my possible next steps. I had to think about the mindset that I was in because I have seen embroiderers that it doesn't matter how much you offer to pay them, they will not share a single thing with you. They get very closed mouth. And I wasn't like that, but I wasn't sharing my whole entire process. Like I wasn't giving you every single thing that goes on within my business. I was giving, but it was limitations on what I was giving, if you guys understand what I mean. I think at that moment, that is when I made the decision to still have my locked brand, but to start moving my locked customers over to my personal page. I still had my personal page. So that right there was just a whole entire process. And then on my current page that had went viral, I started sharing behind the scenes and I started sharing embroidery tips and tricks for them. I ended up making courses around embroidery. I I got an LLC. It's still in the process, but we did get an LLC for Embroidery Mastery. By the time I had went viral, I already had a single needle course out. So what I was able to do is start directing all of those questions back to my single needle course. Like, oh, I have this course for beginners. It teaches you everything you need to know about using a single needle embroidery machine. So I made that course in 2023. In 2024, that's when I went viral. I had to make it make sense in my brain. So I was able to start directing the traffic that wanted to know how to embroider over to my single needle course. So I did start to see a little bit of profit in doing that. Things started moving along with my lock brand because I was still doing my drops for my lock brand, but I was just doing it from a different channel, which was my personal brand, because I do have a community of women that have locks. With that brand being on the other page, I could just advertise directly to the people that follow me that are within my lock community over there. So it did come to a point where the courses that I did have out at the time started to slow down. I had to think of another way to kind of hook people back in, because with business, it's never ending. When you run your own business, you have to constantly think of ways to innovate, always be 10 steps ahead of everyone else. I started going live on Instagram and Facebook. That gave people the opportunity to start asking me questions in real time. That gave them the opportunity to see my process that they wanted to see so bad. And the more that I started sharing, the more that it really started connecting and my community started growing. I said all of that to say that the viral moment that I had, it didn't just change my page, it changed my focus. It shifted my direction. I didn't really plan on being here like this, in this space, and sharing content the way that I do, having a community, having a mentorship. I never really thought about it in the early days. It never crossed my mind, but this viral video led me here. And for me, once I started to think about it and kind of talk to my husband more about it, that is when it made sense. I used to be a teacher. I was a special education teacher. It was still in the teaching area. My husband and I just decided to go all in on Embroidery Mastery. And that is when your favorite virtual embroidery coach was born. So yes, going viral did change my business. It's just not in the way that people think within that moment. I actually had to do the work to get my business to where it is now. I have been through so much. We have tried so many different things in my business. That's why I feel like you can trust me to lead you in the right direction. And that is the direction that you want to go in within your embroidery business. Going viral really helped me figure out what my business was supposed to be. There are several aspects to having an embroidery business. I did realize that I did not want to be a production business. That is when you have like 10 machines and you produce. My neck and my back won't even let me do that. So going viral did help me realize the direction that I really desire for my business. So if you are trying to build your embroidery business, please understand that knowing what direction you want to go in within your embroidery business is really important, and it matters way more than you think. I always tell people that if I was to start over from zero, then I would be a digitizer. And do you guys want to know why? It's because for me, I'm a creative person. I need to create. I need to stitch it out. I need to see it stitching. I need to see what the machine is doing. And being a digitizer allows you that freedom. It also doesn't allow you to carry inventory. It doesn't allow you to be ordering all these different blanks if you make a mistake or anything like that. It allows you to be able to travel and do what you want to do as far as your lifestyle once you're done working. It's what I would love to be in maybe some years down the line, because right now my calling is in coaching. So if you have been trying to build an embroidery business, the direction that you are trying to go matters more than you think. And that is exactly what I have been helping my mentees figure out within their own embroidery businesses. I don't want you guys to go through everything that I have been through. This is a great opportunity because if starting out, there would have been someone like me doing what I want to do, and they were offering a program like this, then I would have latched on. I created this program because there is nobody doing what I'm doing that I could kind of latch on to and follow. I don't want you guys to go viral and not be ready like me. I was not ready to go viral. I gained a whole bunch of cold followers, and you guys know what cold followers are. It's when someone has 1, 2, 3, 400,000 followers and their videos get maybe 10,000 views. It's because they have a lot of cold followers. They may have changed their niche, because that's what I was doing. I was changing what I was doing and I was losing the original followers, and you guys, it was just a whole mess. I definitely do not want your income to decline like mine did. It is awful. That is why I have become your favorite virtual embroidery coach. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this story time. I never thought that I would be talking about this. I can't say that it's embarrassing or anything like that, because I did learn a lot of lessons during this process. And this moment, this viral moment, did reshape my business. So I have no complaints whatsoever. I would love to know if something like this has ever happened to you guys, to where you went viral for something and you undercharged and you got a lot of cold followers who really didn't engage with your content. I want to know if like you experienced sales decreasing as well. So yeah, let me know. If you guys have any questions, please leave them below. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and do all the things that you're supposed to do when you find a creator that you love. The Embroidery Mastery mentorship, any courses, any design files, everything will be linked below. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.